Welcome back to Scribble for a share of my July EDC setup. You will notice that I am back in A6 rings for my EDC for July, and that actually wasn't my original plan. I'd actually planned on staying in my Passport TN for the month of July and then moving into my A6 rings in August. But I decided instead to move into my A6 rings for July for two main reasons. One is that I have a new cover coming and I know when it gets here I'm going to want to use it for August. So that meant that I needed to kind of swap my plan a little bit. The other reason is that I'm working on printables to launch for 2025 to go along with my bound book planner launch. And I wanted to start using them and testing them out so that I could make tweaks and changes and adjust them as needed. And so I decided that July would be a really good month to set up my A6 rings and use those printables, and then I could use my new cover in August, which I'll share when it comes. So this is my July EDC setup. I will say that this is a chunkier, thicker setup than I normally have in my A6 rings for a couple of reasons. One is that this cover itself, which I bought pre-loved from someone in the planner community at a huge steal. I paid so little for this gorgeous VDS cover. It is insane. But this cover, this croc cover, is just thicker and chunkier than some of my other covers. I also have things in the back pocket, which makes it a little bit chunkier. I don't usually use a back pocket. I actually don't normally like a back pocket, but it's kind of working for what I need right now. So I'm kind of glad that it's there. So I do have stuff back there. And then I have a little bit more deco in here than I normally do. And then I also printed some stuff on some different paper, and that makes it a little bit thicker than when I'm using just Tomoe River paper for pretty much everything. So it is a little bit chunkier than my normal planner setup would be, but it is not as chunky as a lot of people's planners for sure. And it is working really well. Well, we're only a few days in, but it is working really well. I had wanted to do the setup for this planner with you guys on camera, but I just honestly didn't have the time. So I set this up myself, and instead we're going to flip through and I'm going to talk to you guys about how I have it set up and how I'm using it. I know a lot of you don't use ring bound planners, but I do hope that you'll still watch this video because I do think that you will get inspiration, ideas, and just enjoyment out of watching my flip through and checking out my setup. I know that I find inspiration from all different planner setups. So even if it's a planner I don't use, or they use their planner in a way that I don't use my planner, I often find inspiration. I also know that you can take a lot of attributes that you see in other setups and you can tweak them to make them work in your system. So if you're a ring bound planner person, you can take ideas from disc bound, traveler's notebook bound books, and you can implement them into your rings. And if you're a non-rings person, you can take pieces of these and implement them into your disc bound or your TN or your book bound or just your overall system. So I am hoping that you guys will still enjoy this video if you're not a rings person, and that you'll stick around through the entire video and you'll enjoy it. So this is my VDS cover, like I said, and it is a matte Croco. It is A6 size. It has 30mm rings. It is not shortened or narrowed. It is the adjusted to A6 size. And the reason that I know that is because my ready to ship A6 in the Amazon, it is the same size as this planner. This one has 25mm rings, but the planner itself is the same size. So I'm fairly certain this hasn't been cut narrower or anything like that. And also the way that the inserts fit into it. This pocket configuration is the same as they're ready to ship. So you'll see over here, there's the zip pocket, the little pocket, the secretarial flap, and then the card pockets and secretarial flap over there. That is the same setup as this. So this does not have any pocket customizations or anything like that. The zip pockets, I'm actually not a fan of. I don't really like them in any planner. I don't really have any use for them, and the zipper just kind of annoys me. So I'm not actually using this zipper pocket. I do, however, have something in it. I have the cards that came with the planner in there. That way I don't lose them. In case I ever wanted to sell this, I can put them back into the card slots. So I'm not using the zipper pocket. This little pocket, I just have a washi card. This is from the Rosy Life planner. I did do an unboxing of the Dreams Do Come True box that I had purchased from Rosy Life, or I had pre-ordered it in March, and I did an unboxing of it, and that's what I used to set up this planner. I had mentioned in that unboxing that I was going to use that to set up a planner in this cover, and so that's what I did. And so this is from that box, as is this magnetic pin. If you can see that there. And the highlighter over here is also from that box. It's just a little pocket highlighter in sort of a mauve-y color. I have in this secretarial flap some to-do list sticky notes. These are from Mr. Pen, I think, on Amazon, and they fit nicely inside there. So I have some to-do list post-it notes there, or sticky notes there, and then I have some mail items in the back here, some checks I need to deposit, and then also some things for my business for Just Scribble. And then on the right hand side in the card pockets, I just have 3 basically washi cutting cards. This is a plain pink one from Planner Press. This is a gold metal one from Live Love Posh. And then this is my favorite card from Planner Press that says, "A dream is a wish your heart makes," from Cinderella. My favorite movie, or my favorite Disney movie, my favorite quote. I just love it. So I have that there. And then I do have a inner gel pen in here in the gold barrel. I actually had the pocket pen that came with the Rosy Life sub box in here. It's basically a generic version of a Uniball 1P, and I did have that in here. I just kind of clipped it on the pen loop like that, but I left it at work. I was writing in my planner, I took it out of the pen loop, I set it on my desk, and I forgot to put it back in. So I'm using an inner gel right now, or really any pen that I grabbed that's sitting next to me at the time. And then in this secretarial pocket, I have 2 little booklets. This is a reusable sticker book from Catspresso Co. And I just have stickers from some samplers in there that I can use in my planner whenever I want it. And then this is an A6 monthly from Sterling Ink. I talked about this in my last ring planner setup, that I had decided to add a full year monthly booklet to my ring planner setup. That way I could write in plans whenever they came up, even if I wasn't in the current month, because I only keep 1 month worth of inserts in here. And so that's what this is for. And then I used this also when I was carrying an A610 as my everyday carry as well. But it's just my monthly planner. It has really simple washi deco, and that's where I write our plans down when things get planned, so that I don't forget to add them to our main planner, which is my Wonderland 222 that stays at home. So that's all the pockets and all of that. And now we are going to flip through. So the first thing that I have in here is a piece of acetate. It's a really thin, soft piece from a pack that I bought on Amazon. And then behind that, I have this picture of this beautiful girl. I found this by just Googling. I found this beautiful picture and I printed it on vellum. And so I put that there. I thought it matched the vibe and style of the Rosy Life planner box that I used to kind of set this up. And I really liked her. I thought she was very pretty. And then I put this card in front and I clipped it with a paper clip. So it's clipped between the acetate and the vellum. And it says, "Dream big, then do something every day to make it happen." And that came in the box. So I layered that there. So that's my sort of intro page protector. And then when you flip the page, I have my task reminder sheet. This is a trigger list. This is a freebie from Plan with B. This has been in all of my ring planner setups, so I just moved it over. And actually, my setup really isn't that different than my last setup because I didn't really have a need to change it. It's a very functional setup and kind of a clean organization that makes sense to me. So all I did was take things out that I didn't need where the pages were already done or everything on the list was done, swapped out the calendar pages, and then updated a few things and then changed out some of the deco. So that is the task reminder sheet. And then I did print this from Haru Plans. This is a planning routine sheet. I actually just printed it today and added it. I've been wanting to kind of develop what my planning routine is, and so I put that there so that I could make notes and kind of think about my planning routine. So I put that there. And then this is a jelly insert from Catspresso Co. And in here I have some cards, the Believe card here and the Dream card on the back. Those came with the Rosy Life box. And then this one that says 1 in a million, that is from my minimal planner. They recently had a sale and I bought some cards from them. And so that's where that's from. And the back of it has hearts, which I love. So I just stuck those in there for a little bit of deco. And then the planner itself is divided into 3 main sections. So they're divided by these clear dividers. And in my last planner setup, I didn't have anything on these tabs. They were just the clear. But this time I decided to put some reusable tabs and stick them on the back so it's stuck on the back there, so that I would have a pop of color that kind of coordinated coming out the top so I could see my sections easily. I didn't want to put labels or words. I know what these sections are and I kind of find them naturally with my fingers, but I thought it looked pretty to have the color up there, and it made it a little bit easier to see because I do have some other things that stick out at the top that I grab from as well. So the sections that I have are lists, plans, and then reference. That's it. That's the main categories of the planner, but then within each one I have subcategories. So this is the list section and it has 5 sections in it. And what I did to divide it is I took vellum from that Rosy Life sub box. It came with one piece that was already cut into A6 size, which is this one, which is a little bit thinner. And then it came with one large A4 size piece, which was this one, which was a little bit thicker. So I cut the A4 size into 4 A6 pieces and I put those together because they kind of matched. And those are the dividers for my sections in my list section of my planner. And then I stuck reusable tabs on the back so that I could easily flip to each section. If you stick them on the back, then they don't peel off when you go to grab them. And so I can just flip to my sections by flipping those. So these are the 5 subsections in my lists section of my planner. So the first one is an inbox. This is a freebie from Plan with B. And I just write things down here that I think of that don't really have a home yet and I don't want to forget. So this is an inbox section. I just have 2 sheets, 4 pages of inbox it from the Plan with B freebie. And then the next section is a brain dump section. And I did this a little bit different. This is something that I changed. These are also a freebie from Plan with B. So I put little headers on them. So I have one for home, one for gifts, one for planner, and one that I haven't labeled. That way I could brain dump in a more organized fashion. This is a home brain dump sheet, and I just added the home one today, so I haven't actually written on it. And then this is a gift one for birthday gifts and holiday gifts. This is a planner one. I have a lot of notes on here. These are things that I might want in my planner, or ways to use my planner, or shops that people mentioned that I wanted to check out. And so I just have sticky notes and lists on there. And then this one I haven't put a label on. And then after that, I have, this is like a project list section. This is a section that I haven't really used very much, but I want to use a little bit more. And so what I did was I put the last time freebie in here. This is also from Plan with B. I do have a section in our Wonderland 222 where we track this stuff, but sometimes if we're out and about and I do something, I want to write it down so I don't forget. And so I added that to here. And then I have this tasks insert. This was a freebie, I think, but I can't remember offhand who it's from. It's kind of an odd task sheet to me. I'm not 100% sure what the intention was behind it and how to use it. However, I decided to use it for some home projects that we have. And so I started writing the 3 rooms that I wanted to focus on. And then these are going to be checklists for the things that I need to do in each of those rooms. And then this is going to be like a shopping list so that I can shop for anything that I need to do for these rooms. We're doing like a de-stash and changing my kiddo's room to make it more grown up now that he's older. And then I have some things I need to do to our guest room, stuff like that. And so that's what these pages are going to be, are kind of for home projects, so that I can keep track of the rooms and the ideas that I have, or the things that I want to do, or the things that I need to buy. And then behind that, I have a page that was in my old planner. This was about my wellness setup. And so I kept it so that I would remember the things that I had wanted and what I had set up. And then behind that, I have a recipe. I actually made these for work. It's a patriotic cookie bar. And so I had written down the recipe so that I wouldn't have to print it out and have like a piece of paper. And so I kept that in there because we're going to make it again because it was a big hit. And then I just have some paper in case I need more in that section, or I need paper to move into other sections. And then the next section after the kind of project list section is my shopping list section. This has my favorite meal planning shopping list insert, and this one is from Puff and Pages Co. and it is a freebie, but I've actually seen an almost identical list from other shops as well, but this is the one that I have and the one that I print, and it's free, which is awesome. But I absolutely love this insert. I'm going to show you the blank one because I've written all over this one, obviously, but this is how I plan our grocery shopping for the week for our meals. So what I do is I write down our meal plan for the week, primarily dinners, because breakfasts are a little bit different. My husband mostly eats a protein bar for breakfast. My kiddo will either have a protein bar or a protein shake, or actually skip breakfast if he's not feeling like eating. And I often get breakfast at work because we have like a full cafeteria with omelet station and all that kind of stuff. And so I don't generally write down breakfast, and then lunches are pretty straightforward and routine. It's leftovers for some of us, and then my kiddo often buys his lunch at camp or at school. So mostly it's dinners, but I will write down lunch or breakfast ideas as well if I'm going to make something like overnight oats or baked oatmeal or something like that for the week. But I write down our meals, and then I go one by one and I make the shopping list for that meal and that day. So if we were making quiche for dinner, I would write that we were having quiche here and what side dish we were having. And then I would make my shopping list based on what I actually need. So we already have eggs, so I wouldn't need eggs, but I would need a pie crust, and then I might need some more vegetables if we didn't have enough vegetables in our veggie drawer to throw into the quiche. Maybe the boys wanted hash browns. I would write hash browns down, and then I would go to the next day. And if we were having pork chops and smashed potatoes, then I would write pork chops and potatoes. If there was any extra things we needed like olive oil or butter or something like that, I would add that as well. And so I build my list not based on the order of the grocery store, but based on the meals, going one by one, so that I don't miss anything that I need for any particular meal. It works really well for me. I do order my groceries online. It just saves me so much time and also saves me so much money because I only buy what I need and I'm not tempted to buy other things. And so this works really well because I don't need my grocery list in the order of the grocery store. I just need the list of the foods. And then as I add them to my cart in my app, I just check them off and that's it. So it makes for really easy meal planning and shopping lists. So I have that insert in there, and I have one for every week in July. And then I have a shopping list freebie from Plan with B, and this is where I put other things that we need to buy at some point, not necessarily right now, just things that we need or things that pop up or something that we need to buy from Sam's or from Home Depot or something like that. And I do have extra ones in here, which normally I don't keep a lot of extra inserts in my planners, but I will designate these for holiday shopping as well. So that way I can put a header on it and I can have a Christmas stocking shopping list, and I can have Christmas presents by person shopping list. And so I have extra ones clipped in there so that I can use those. And then the last section in my lists section is my order tracker. There are order trackers out there, and I will be offering an order tracker printable with my printables on my website. But a lot of the order trackers that are out there have way more than I actually want and need on it. And so I've just been kind of making my own, and it's very simple. And so my printable will kind of lean this way, not exactly like this, but it'll lean this way. But basically I draw a line, and then I use a check mark if something's shipped, and then I put a line through it if it's delivered. And I just track the things that I have ordered. And so I have some sheets pre-made in there for order trackers. I won't need this many in this setup, but they're already made, so the next time I use my A6 rings, I'll be able to just migrate them into the new setup and they'll already be ready to go. And then after that, I have a sheet with planner pre-orders. And so on there, I have a list of the planners that I've already pre-ordered for 2025, including notes on the ones that are for me and what I plan to use them for, and the ones that I plan on doing giveaways with. And I just put a little page flag there that says 2025. And then after that, I just have some notes that I had in my other setup that I kept. One is a list of different weeks size covers. I used that when I was having my custom made from Eternal Leather Goods. And then I have some dimensions for the Wonderland 222 all in one with the clear cover that I used when I had my Sojourner custom made. So I kept those because I'm going to put this information ultimately probably into my social media planner memory keeper so that I have that in case I ever need to refer back to it. But it's kind of referenced for right now. And then I have this folder insert from Catspresso Co. And I have a work document in there. And that just holds important papers and keeps them private because it seals closed like that. And then we get to the next section. So this is my plan section. This is the meat of my planner. This is where I spend almost all of my time, which is why it's in the center, so that when it's open, even and balanced when I'm writing. So I keep it in the center because it makes it even. I also keep it in the center because I know I'll go to this section no matter what. Whereas other sections like lists, if they're in the back, I'll just not flip to them or not use them or not reference them. So I needed the things that I won't remember to check and use on a regular basis out of habit in the front. I need the thing that I'm using all the time kind of in the center, and then reference in the back. That's how it works, at least in my head. So once again, I have the clear tab with an adhesive sticky tab on the back so that it looks pretty and it's easy to see. And then clipped to that with a little heart paper clip is a vellum that came with that box, the Rosy Life box. And so it has this beautiful castle. And so that's the deco for the second section. So this section just has the flowers. My front has the girl that I printed. And then this one has the castle. When you flip that page, I have this acetate piece with all the months on it from Catspresso Co. because this is my plans section. It seemed appropriate. And then behind that, I have a free printable from my minimal planner that just has the months of the year on it with cute doodles. I may end up putting little stickers for the months that are gone like some people do, but I haven't done that yet. And then we get into the planner. And this is the part that's a little bit of a sneak peek because this is a printable that I'm working on for 2025 to launch in my shop. And it is inspired by the horizontal planner that I'm launching, the bound book planner that I'm launching. And so although the layout isn't identical because this is a different size, it is very reminiscent and very similar. So if you have been watching my sneak peeks and you are interested in my horizontal planner, you will get a better idea of my horizontal planner layout when you see this. I do want to say, however, that this is a test. This was like the first version that I did. I am making tweaks to this, and also my printer did something funky, mainly with one of the fonts. And so the font doesn't actually look like this. So this is the intro page for the ring planner insert for the calendar insert. This page is not reminiscent of what's in the planner. The planner has something different, but for a ring planner, you definitely want to be able to tell what month you're heading into, and it's nice to have a little dashboard at the front. And so what I did was I put the month, ignore the font because it's all weird, and obviously this is a test, so the printing isn't perfect and not everything is exactly right. But there's a grid section here, and then there's a line section here so that you can use this for a to-do list for the month. You can use it for key dates for the month, which is what I'm using it for. You can use it for a shopping list for the month, whatever you want. You can use this for deco, for more lists. You can really use this however you want, but it's kind of a little dashboard in the front of your month. And then when you flip it, you go into the monthly. This monthly does look like my monthlies that are in my planners that I'm launching. It's almost identical. There's a couple of little differences, but for the most part, this is what the monthly looks like in my planners and what the monthlies will look like in my calendar printables as well. But it is a Monday start and it is dated, and the dates that are for the past month or the future month that kind of fall into the weeks, they are dated on there, but they're in a different shade. So it might be a little bit hard to tell on camera. And of course, I'm still playing with some of the color and things like that. But the 1, 2, 3, 4 of August, those are in gray instead of black. But this is the monthly, and this is a 4mm grid. And I actually printed 2 of these. I can't show you the other one back behind it because that is for Just Scribble. I decided to put both my personal and Just Scribble's calendar together in my plan section just so that they would be easily referenced. But that's the monthly. And then when you flip past the monthly, you go into the weeklies and then you go into the dailies. This is a bundled insert, just like my planners are bundled, which is my preference. And I'm really excited that I'm going to be launching planners and being able to add that to the planner community. So this is the weekly spread, but I'm going to flip to one that I haven't used just because it'll be easier to see without my plans in it. And there's also some stuff in here that I can't share with you anyways. So this is the dashboard layout, although not identical to the dashboard layout in my dashboard planner. It is very similar and very reminiscent and heavily inspired by it. So like I said, this is a test version. This was like my first version of the A6 rings. So there are some things that I'm going to be changing and that I'm going to be modifying a little bit, and some things that aren't quite right. Like there's a line through these words and there won't be lines there. But this is the general premise of what this calendar insert is going to look like. So you'll have Monday through Sunday over here, similar to a Hobonichi weeks or the Sterling Ink weeks or the paper test weeks and so many other horizontal planners. And it is divided into 2 columns. So there's a tiny little gap here and then there's grid over here. So if you need all the way across for your day, you can easily just add that line across. Or you can use this for your calendar pieces, and you can use this for a giant to-do list or a shopping list or a brain dump or whatever it is that you want to use this for. And then on the right hand side, it's a dashboard that has a place for your priorities for the week, a place for your top focus for the week. It tells you the month in the number and then also in words, and then the year. And then it has 2 grid boxes here that you can use for lists or notes or what have you. In the planners that I'm launching, this page looks a little bit different and there's some different functionality in it. But for the printables, this is the way that I plan to have it with just a few minor tweaks. So you have a grid there, and then you have 3 sections here. This is a tracker with a Monday through Sunday. And then these are list and or tracker sections. So you can use these in a bunch of different ways. You can use this to keep track of Happy Mail that you received during the week. You can use this to keep track of things you need to clean or laundry you need to do. You could use this to keep track of things you need to buy. But you can also, because they're designed 7 down, you can also put Monday through Sunday here, and you can use this to keep track of other things. So you could use this to keep track of your exercise plan Monday through Sunday. You could use it to keep track of your work schedule, your husband's work schedule, your kiddo's schedule. It's customizable to be used as lists or as a type of tracker. And so you have 3 boxes like that you can use how you want them. And then one here that is more like a habit tracker that you can use any way you would use a normal tracker. I personally am in this planner using this page for our personal and this page for Just Scribble. So I have these sections being used for Just Scribble. So I have a section for the videos that I need to post that I had already filmed, a section for any things I need to film this week, to-do list section, and then a tracker section for posting on YouTube, checking Gmail, working on my website, different things like that. And I have my priorities and my focus, and then I have some lists up there. And then when you turn the page, and this is where I'm kind of tweaking because it's not lined up quite right, but when you turn the page, you have a list over here and then a grid over here. Ignore the fact that it's not printed properly because this was like a preliminary draft. In the bound planner, this is just a grid page. There's no checklist or list right here. But in the ring planner, I did that intentionally so that you could fold it and keep it like this. And you could keep your to-do list for the week here. So you would have your overview of your events here, whatever you wanted to use this for, your to-do list here. You could still see your dailies there. And then inside you could have this section to do tracking or anything else that you needed. So I developed this so that it's a half sheet or a full sheet, depending on how you want to use it. I've been using it as a half sheet and loving it. And so inside here is Just Scribble, which I can't show you. And so I have a this week list and then a to buy list on that side. And so these are the things that I have to do on these specific days, like some unique specific things. These are a lot of our appointments. And then I have my this week and my to buy and then my dailies. So that's how this was designed, so that you can fold it and use it that way, or you can keep it unfolded and use it like that. And then it goes straight into your dailies, which are dated. And I'm going to be having a timeline on them, but I only have it on one day right now because this was my test and I was adjusting and playing with some things. But it has a dated daily like that. And then you go into the next week until the end of the month. And then you go to a grid page. And so that is the horizontal calendar printable in A6. This is the draft version that will be tweaked slightly, but generally speaking, this is what the insert is going to look like. And also extremely similar to the horizontal planner. So if you were interested, that gives you a little bit of a more detailed sneak peek of that. So after that section, I have additional plans pieces related to Just Scribble. So I do have this pencil board from Lauren Phelps Designs in here that says highlight of my life. And this kind of divides my main plans from my Just Scribble section. So I do have this printable from my minimal planner. This is one of her freebies and it's got planner hashtags. And so I have that there. And then I have an inbox section for Just Scribble. And then I have a Crefective Paper social media income tracker. I just added this in. I printed a new one so that I could show this to you guys. And I'm going to copy over my information from the one that I had previously. But I wanted to be able to show you kind of how I have this set up. And so this is a new one. So I just use a highlighter to write the year. And then these are my streams of income. This place is for the total for the month. And then this is for a graph. So I need to add the amounts over there and then fill it out and graph it. After that, I have a social media calendar from Crafective Paper. This is an undated insert, and so I did date it myself, like in the top corners. And then I wrote July at the top, and I made one for August as well. I haven't been super consistent in the past using this, but I'm going to try to be a little bit more consistent in using this, just because when I go to fill out my social media memory keeping journal, it would be helpful to have this so that I could fill that out. And so basically I'll write down which videos post which days, and then I can color code with keys days that I post on YouTube, if I work on my blog, my website, etc. So I have July and August in here. And then I have this planner room insert. This is a 2-day on 1 page insert. And so it actually says today, and then it has priorities, notes, and a to-do list. I'm not using this as that. So I covered the today with some washi, and this is actually where I'm going to be putting down the sneaks that I've shared and am sharing, or I'm going to be sharing on my planner, and then some other things related to the planner launch. I have to copy these over from my passport planner, but that's how I'm going to be using that. And then this is a checklist. I'm pretty sure this is from Puffin Pages Co. I've been using this insert for a while. I've used it in personal size. I've tipped it into planners. I have it in a bunch of different sizes. I really like it for tracking my YouTube videos. So I set up new ones for this planner because the ones I had like written all over and scribbled all over. And once they get super messy, it's kind of hard for me to see the things that I need to do and the things that I've already done. So I'm going to be going through those old ones and just transferring the things that still need to be done and then trashing those pages. But I just set up headers across the top for the things that work for me for my videos, and then I made categories. So these are for July videos, these are videos that people have requested, these are August videos that I already know I need to film, and then these are 2025 planners that I'm going to be filming. And so I have a spot here to mark whether or not I have a giveaway in this video. So I just put a little asterisk or a little star if there's a giveaway incorporated. And then I have a place to check off that I filmed, that I took the picture for my thumbnail, that I've edited, that I've made my thumbnail, that I've posted it, and then I've shared it to Instagram. And so I just write the video down here, and then I check them off. And then when everything is completely done, I actually highlight it, because then I don't see it if it's highlighted, and only the things not highlighted pop out to me. So that's my checklists. And then after that, I have an acetate from Catspresso Co. in this cute houndstooth, and that just divides my video lists from other lists that I have. So in here, I have lists about my company, the things that I'm doing for the business side of Just Scribble. I have lists about printables and naming them and codes and things like that. I've been making notes on the fidget spinner that we're going to be setting up, of what I'm going to be including in there, stuff like that. And so this just has notes and then extra pages for additional notes. And then after that, I have this page lifter. I don't remember who this one is from, and it's dirty. I need to clean it. This sticks out at the top, so I can easily grab it, if you can see that. So I can easily grab it, because this is where I keep my list of PR and sponsor codes. I put a clean one in here because I have some new codes that I need to add, but this is from Crafective Paper, and it just has a place for me to put the brand, the platform, the terms, the requirements, my code, and products that I receive for anyone that sponsors a video or that I PR for, things like that. And so I have 2 of these. One that has my codes for you guys, which are always down in my description box. So definitely always check out my description box, because all of the brands that I love, that I rep for, are down below with codes for you guys to save money when you shop. And I also have them on my link tree on Instagram. Right now I have them in my link tree. I'm actually moving them to my website, and so the link tree will then just take you to my website. But these are for you guys, and then behind that, paper clipped behind that, is my codes. So any codes that I have for when I shop. Some notes about the planners that I'm launching, and then I just have paper for extra notes, because Just Scribble is pretty much the thing that I have the most ideas and random thoughts about that I need to jot down. It's the thing that I need a brain dump or scribble notebook the most. So extra paper. And then the last section is my reference section. Once again, I put a little adhesive sticky tab up there. I actually need to cut this off because it sticks out. So I have that there. And then this came with my Rosy Life box. So this has an S, which is the first letter of my first name. And so this was a customized piece from that box. And so I put that there. And then behind that, I printed this girl that I found searching on Google. I printed her on vellum and I just layered those together because I thought it looked really pretty. And then this just has reference. Can't show you very much in this because there's private stuff, but it's mostly my kiddos' school stuff. So I do have an insert from Catspresso Co. here, and it has 2 more cards that came in that Rosy Life box. Behind that is a freebie school printable from Plan with B, and so that has my kiddos' school schedule and stuff like that in it. And then I printed some contact cards or contact sheets from Haru Plans. They're in 2 different styles, but I can't show you this one. Well, yeah, I can. Hold on. So this one has 3 contacts per page, and this one has like a list this way. So this is where I'm going to put camp contacts. I have them on a card in my passport TN right now, so I'm going to move them to there. And then this one is for school contacts, and then like their grading scale for school and other school reference. And then in the back I have some home reference. And in the very back I have this from Catspresso Co. and I have the sticker sheets that came with that box, and then the die cut stickers so that I have them if I want to decorate. Then I have my page lifter, and then this is my blotter paper, which I keep with my planner so that when I write, things don't smear. But that is it. That is my A6 rings setup, my share of the first draft of the A6 ring inserts that I'm going to be launching, and then also a little bit of a sneak peek to the horizontal planner to give you just kind of like a little bit of an idea. If you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to put them down below and I will definitely get back with you. If you like this share of my A6 ring setup for July, please give me a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss future videos, and don't forget to just scribble.